Right, 2 May 2022. This is a public holiday or public resting day to some, because yesterday it was a workers' day. However, today we are talking about something that has been trending all week: Dubai Porter Party. What is happening? Why are the leaders in Africa quiet about the heinous or the dehumanizing of our citizens? Why are the slave queens choosing that path? Is it the only way to make money? We're going to look at that today. Welcome to JCTV Africa and Zim Social. Wherever you're watching us from, you're welcome to this platform where we talk about issues that are happening in the motherland, and most specifically in Zimbabwe, where I come from. So this one does not only affect Zimbabweans, it affects everyone across Africa, across the board. So that's why we brought it here. And you are welcome to give us your comments and your thoughts in the comment section, as this is a live broadcast. Even if you're watching this as a rebroadcast, you can also get in touch with us, support us, and give us your thoughts. Would love to hear from you. So a lot of horror stories have been told, and this is not the first time I am hearing this about the Dubai Porter Party. There's a lot of people that have been talking about this, and I'm not the first one to shed light on this one. But I'm going to zero in on why is this thing happening? Why is it African leaders are not addressing this issue, and they are turning a blind eye on this? It looks like we're on our own. The first thing that I want to look at is that what is causing people to go into this business or into this kind of setup of them being dehumanized? Let's just take a listen to one of the podcasts that was done by Mark G, Podcast and Chill, and I'm just taking a snippet of a man who is also of African descent, who is recruiting these girls into dehumanization or prostitution, if we can put it that way. Let's take a listen.
I don't know what happens in Dubai when you take these girls there.
Look, when we take the girl in Dubai, we go like to have just fun, you know, to entertain people.
Come on, Serge, you're not telling the truth, man. In Dubai, it goes down. When the slave queens go to Dubai, what happens?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's part of the game.
Yeah, but what happens?
But what happens to them? What? Tell us the stories.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Man, I'll tell you. Some of them are forced to give camels blowjobs.
Camels.
Some of them get crapped on in the face, in the stomach.
Yeah.
They're forced to have all types of crazy, wild sex with different people, and they get paid for that. It not only happens in the Middle East, Dubai, but sometimes when they go to the Seychelles as well. That's what goes down.
Yeah.
It's just sodomy, man. That's all it is.
We don't force them, you understand?
Yeah.
That's why they choose, you understand? I don't want people tomorrow to come to say, okay, look, you took the girl in Dubai, you took the girl in the USA.
You've shit on someone.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like, take a shit on
taking a crap on somebody's face?
Yeah.
Why not? Those things happen.
Have you done that?
Those things happen.
But have you done that?
Look, I can say, Danny, those things happen.
You've done it.
Understand?
You've done that.
Look where Joe is taking me down.
But why would you do that? Like, why would you do that?
We want to have
hold on. Is it sex or is it to dehumanize?
No. We want to have a fun. What can we do?
Where's the fun? You enjoy that?
My nigga, you cannot do something that you are not enjoying.
I can't co-sign this,
That's
man.
what's during those time. You understand?
I can't co-sign
That's
that.
what's during those time.
Hey,
That was an error.
I can call it as an error. You understand? You understand? On that basis, we can put it on that line. You understand?
So do you like eat a full meal before the girl comes? Like what's the story?
Look,
He's got to eat before
I'm a man. You understand? What do you think men always deserve? What men prefer? Who doesn't prefer it?
You know what?
All right, so that is the show. Go and watch it. However, I didn't find anything funny about such a setup whereby you take your own African sisters and you put them into that kind of dehumanization. I can tell that this gentleman probably is from Congo, according to his accent. I might be wrong, but I just wanted to say this is totally unacceptable and this is totally wrong. And why is this happening to us? I'll tell you why this is happening to us. 50, 60 years ago, when colonization was losing its grip on the African people and on the Asian people and the people from the Middle East, when colonization was losing its grip, for example, South Korea and Ghana, they all got free at the same time. But if you check South Korea and Ghana, they are so many miles apart. Right now, what do we get from South Korea? Kia, Hyundai, and I think Kia, Hyundai, and the other brand I'm forgetting, but Kia and Hyundai, they all come from South Korea. What is coming from Ghana that you know of, that is popular? How many cars that are coming from Korea that you know that are across Africa? Plenty. That's how far they've gone in terms of developing their own country. Same time we got independent, but different kind of setup. Look at Middle East Dubai. Dubai was like a desert 25, 30 years ago. In 1990, if you compare an image of Dubai and an image of an African country, whether it's Harare or it's South Africa, totally different. But right now, you cannot compare how much development they have made. This is the reason why we are being dehumanized like this. There is a video, unfortunately, I could not find it, where one journalist would be asking a sheikh from Dubai that what has caused you guys to become like this? And this man answered in a rudely way. However, it is a truthful. It is truthful that is hateful. But it's a truth that is hateful. But what he said is so eye-opening. He said, what you are lacking in Africa is leadership. You know that in UAE, we only have one mineral resource, which is oil, one mineral resource. But in Africa, you have more than 100 minerals that the world is feeding on. But we have failed to utilize those minerals. We have failed to unite Africa. We have failed to have our own currency. We have failed to have our own language in Africa. Go to the Middle East. They have one language. They speak Arabic. Go to Bahrain. They speak Arabic. Go to Qatar. They speak Arabic. Go to Syria. They speak Arabic. It has unified their region. But also, if you go then to Asia, you find those countries, they also are set on making sure that they elevate their country. So why is this happening to us in Africa? A few years back, one leader by the name Donald Trump spoke and he said African countries are S-war countries. I can't say this word, but he said we are S-war countries. What does this mean? It means one thing. We as African leaders, what is happening to our girls when they go to Dubai is the same thing that is happening to our leaders when they go to Dubai, when they go to these other countries. Why is this happening? Our leaders are going there to beg, one, for investment. They are going there to beg for money. They are going also there to stash some money in Dubai. I was talking to one person that I picked up, you know, I used to do Uber. This man, he said that a lot of African leaders, they have bought properties in Dubai. So they've got a lot of offshore accounts that they have in Dubai. One story, one common story in a case in point is of those Guptas that went to Dubai, and South Africa cannot extradite them from there. Let's look at this to say the reason why our leaders cannot face these guys in Dubai and say, stop whatever you're doing, don't do this to us, is because they know that they have their dirty skeletons that are hidden in these countries, and they cannot stand up tall and say, what you're doing to our citizens is totally unacceptable. What you are doing to our people is totally unacceptable. So this is how we find ourselves in this scenario. Some people were saying, these slave queens are doing this. But my submission to you is, these slave queens that you are seeing going there to do this, it's a total mirror of what is happening with our leaders. How many of our leaders do we see going there to Dubai to pose for pictures and, to show us that they've got so much money, they are, they are gloating in Dubai, right? But with what money? With dirty money. It's the same thing that you're finding slave queens doing. They are going to Dubai, do all those dirty business, and then come back and they show us, Lamborghini and all these fancy cars, showing us that they have arrived. So it's a true mirror of what our leaders are doing. They are not developing the continent. They are not giving value to the continent. They are not negotiating good deals with other countries. They are not putting so much value on Africa to say, when you go now to South Korea, when you go to North Korea, America, for example, they had to go and negotiate with that Kim Jong-un. Why? Whether you like it or not, whether there is underdevelopment, but there is a value that America has put on North Korea. It is because they have set up something that will challenge these superpowers to say, you cannot bully us, you cannot tell us what to do. But African leaders, they can say it in rhetoric, but in actual action, they are not doing that. They are going out there and they are setting up illegal businesses they are setting up, they are going with dirty money in Dubai, and then they leave it there, and then after that, they cannot then tell those people in the Middle East to say, don't do this, don't do this, because they will tell you, look guys, your leaders are coming here and we are in bed with them. So there is nothing that you can tell us, and there is nothing that is going to happen. I was hearing stories of what is happening with some people that are going to Oman. Their passports are getting taken away from them. They are made to become slaves, and leaders cannot do anything. So what is it that we can do to solve the African problem? Our African problem, and being dehumanized like what is happening, it all boils down to leadership. Our leaders, if they are not going to reform, our leaders, if they are not going to take money that is evil, our leaders, if they are going to stop negotiating bad deals, our leaders, if they are going to stop stashing their wealth in these countries, then we are going to see our people being respected in these countries. Look at what happens with any American if they are in any country, whether in the Middle East or in India. They are very respected. Nobody dares to mess up with an American. It's because of the value and where they've put themselves, where they set themselves on the world stage. This is what should be happening with our Africans, that if you touch an African, you have touched something. You cannot go away, you cannot get away with that. Look at what happened in Ukraine, how Africans in particular were then segregated amongst other races. So it shows you that if African leaders are not going to reform, you are going to continue hearing these horror stories. You are going to continue seeing slavery going on in Arab countries. You are going to see our people being relegated to subhuman or to be taken like dogs. It is a true reflection of what our leaders are, because there is no way that Africa that has got oil, Africa that has got uranium, Africa that has got all these powerful minerals cannot come and negotiate with world leaders and say, you negotiate on our terms, not on your terms. You are not supposed to borrow us money. You are supposed to bring us what you have. We bring you what you have, but it must be equally shared. For your own information, and some of those who have listened to the former ambassador to African Union, Dr. Arikana Chiwombori Kwao, saying, do you know all these francophone countries where they talk of Cameroon, you talk of Mali, you talk of Senegal, you talk of Burkina Faso, all these African countries, they don't produce their own currency. If minerals are found in any of these countries, if they are mined by France and they are owned by France, they are made to borrow their own money. So you see, that's how the world sees us. And these people from, these leaders from all these places, they see it and they enter into these deals and they can tell that we are being denigrated by our leaders. We are being failed by our leaders. And if that doesn't stop, forget about these stories coming to an end. Forget, even if you can protest all you want, it's not going to stop. People are going to continue being dehumanized. And it is only when we change our African leaders, when we change this generation, and this generation starts to negotiate deals with so much equality amongst all these cities, among all these countries. And if we can unite Africa, that is when we can find a common ground. That's when you can be able to set a standard to say, you cannot do this to our people. We are not going to allow this to happen. Otherwise, forget, we can protest and be on Twitter and do whatever we do, but it's not going to change. For example, 2 weeks back, there was the story of what happened in Warere Beach in Tanzania. And do you know that a lot of African people, they were so quick, you know, on social media to say, let's cancel Tanzania, let's cancel Zanzibar. They were so quick, very quick. You know, people, it trended and everyone was like, I'm not going to Zanzibar, I'm going somewhere else. But right now, Africans cannot say, let's cancel Dubai, let's cancel Middle East, let's cancel Qatar. Why? Because they are in bed with Qatar. They cannot stand up to someone who is out there. They cannot stand up to, they can only stand up to their own African brothers. So I'm saying, let's use that energy that we have, that we give on our domestic issues in Africa, to say we are cancelling AKA, we are cancelling Cassper Nyovest, we are cancelling MacG, we are cancelling Benabol, we are cancelling Davido, whoever we are thinking of cancelling. If we can put that energy and we cancel our leaders and say, our leaders, we're cancelling Paul Biya, we're cancelling Idi Mnangagwa, we're cancelling this leader for the dehumanization of our people, and we are not going to allow Yoweri Museveni to have another term. Let's stop it. That is what will cause us to be respected in our own continent. Let's use that energy. Let's channel that energy towards developing and towards removing the dictators and the people that are dehumanizing us in Africa, which cause us to be dehumanized in other countries. That's all that I have for you. Thank you so much for coming through to the program, and please share this video with your family and friends. And I appreciate your thoughts. I'm seeing my brother African leaders, especially Zimbabwe, 42-year government, talking about liberation stories. You see, that is the problem, because what we saw, what we see in the Middle East, people in the Middle East and people in Asia, they realize one thing, which is very important, that the countries like in Europe and the countries in the West, America in particular and Canada, they had gone miles ahead they had gone miles ahead because they colonized us. So they were more than 100 years ahead of the, of people in Asia. So what did they do? If you are chasing someone that is miles ahead of you, you don't travel at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. You have to accelerate. And that's what China have done. That's what South Korea has done. That's what the Middle East have done. They accelerated themselves. They exert themselves. Let's sacrifice ourselves to be ahead. And that's why that's the reason why now even they cannot be bullied by America to impose sanctions on Russia, because they are saying, you cannot tell us what to do. We can tell you what to do. There was a video of Saudi Arabia mocking actually America. Why? It's because they have set themselves, they've set the bar so high to say, we are going to develop our country. We are going to run like people who are chasing a pack that is already ahead of us. And that's how they manage to bring value to their people. That's why America cannot impose their own laws in these Middle East countries. That's why even if you don't like it, if you go there with the drugs, they'll catch you, they'll arrest you, and they'll make sure that they can hang you without feeling remorse from what your country, even if you protest any way you want. So these are the things that we need to set as Africa, to say we need to unite as Africa, have our own currency, speak our own language. After speaking our own language, remove these dictators. And that's why it is important for you, especially in Zimbabwe, to go and register to vote. If you're not going to register to vote, we're going to continue hearing these horror stories and continuously being dehumanized by people in Dubai. Thank you. I hope to see you in the next episode. Munashe Makuta is saying, how can I send video? Racho, okay. What I'll do is, it's there on Twitter. If you just go on Twitter and say Dubai Porter Party, you'll see all these videos that I'm talking to you about. If you go on Twitter, you just say Dubai Porter Party, or if you just type Dubai, those stories, they'll start to come, and you can see for yourself. It is very, very unsettling. If you watch one of the video, I'm telling you, you won't even want to eat maybe for the next 2-3 days, because it is totally unsettling. I watched it, I mean, 2 years ago, and I couldn't live within myself for some days. So please, if you and I want to change Africa, we need to vote for leaders. We need to change our democracy. We need to change our system, and let's unite Africa. That is the only way we can change this misdemeanor that we are being given by, or the middle finger that we are being shown by the countries in the Middle East, or Seychelles in particular. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to JCTV Africa, follow us on Zim Social, and follow us on JCTV Africa. If you're watching on Twitter, follow us as well on JCTV Africa. Have a good day and have a wonderful resting day as you celebrate Workers' Day. But don't forget to register to vote in your country. Advocate for change of government if you want to see these stories stopping. Have a good day, and I'll see you on another video, and good day for now from wherever you're watching us from.